Dedra Faine. I'm a Virginia girl at heart. I'm a wife, a mother, an author, and civility and event professor. One of my greatest joys is sharing ways that we can grace our homes and communities with love, kindness, goodwill, and hospitality. What I have come to know is that in order to share and love on people that I come in contact with, I must focus on my heart by consciously making an effort to practice daily routines that nurture and infuse my soul with joy, peace, and love. This in turn allows me to feed and love on my family and community. When I am at my best, I can give my best to everyone that I come in contact with. Heart, home, and community is the core of Gracing Up. So please come join with me as I walk through this journey as I share this art of gracious living. Welcome to Gracing Up. Today we are here with the phenomenal Donna Parker, who is head of PT Academy. She's a personal trainer, yes, and she is totally awesome. So before we get started, how do people contact you if they're interested in personal training?
So my email address is deejp@comcast.net. Or you can call me and leave a message on my cell phone, 804-339-8320.
Wonderful. Hey, look, so why don't we do this? For those people that are sitting at home, I want you all to get up, and we're getting ready to do some quick exercises that you do not need equipment, but you can just get up out of your chair and start exercising with us. Okay?
Yes, movement is key.
Yes.
So let's start, Dedra,
okay,
with some step touches.
Okay.
Just keep moving. We're moving our legs, our arms, our abdominals are engaged because we're pulling the navel in and up. Have fun with it. Turn on the radio.
Right. Get a little music going.
Yes, and if you're at home with your children, they can dance or join you.
Yes.
4, 3, 2, hamstring curls now.
Okay. All right.
Good job.
Let's
and
go.
Keep those abs in tight.
So you've got the old cheerleader in me coming out.
Yes, there you go. Okay. One of the things that I really enjoy is kickboxing because we can use no equipment at all. Get our heart rates up. You need limited space. It's not like you need a gym or anything like that. And you can do it right there in the comfort of your home. Put on a little music. It makes it a lot more fun.
Yes.
8.
So if you're sitting down, get up. Woo!
And right now we're holding our abs in tight so that the core is getting a workout. Okay. Our muscles are getting a workout, and so is the muscle called the heart.
All right.
And 4, 3,
2,
and 1. Now we're going to squat and lift. Squat and lift. Keep the knees behind the toes. The weight of your body is in your heels. Inhale, exhale. Breathing, breathing.
Whew.
Good.
Keep breathing.
4, and 3, and 2, and 1.
Woo!
Great job,
Thank
Dedra.
you, Donna. Thank you so much for that. And I encourage you all to take that time, whether you're sitting at home, you're at work, but get on up, exercise, get that heartbeat flowing. And I thank you for your time.
And drink water.
And drink lots of water.
Yes.
And eat healthy too, but we'll get all this in the show, so it's all good. So.
Yes.
So now it's time to sit down and enjoy the show as we talk with Donna about her home and her heart and things that she's doing to grace up. And you tell me, how did you get into personal training? Well, how did you get there?
Okay, well, I was always a high school athlete, middle school athlete, and so exercise was always a part of my life.
Okay.
I went to college and I majored in economics, graduated, and my first job was in corporate America. Got married, and then once my family came, my focus changed. And I began to want to spend, because I had a very long commute.
Okay.
And it was after picking my children up from the various centers where they were, either after school program or daycare centers, it was a long day.
Okay. Okay.
So I began to look for a job where I could spend more time with my children.
Okay.
And because my passion was already in exercise, I began to pursue that.
Oh, that's awesome, because I think that's one of our greatest gifts is when we have children too.
Yes.
And I know sometimes it's a sacrifice for us financially when we come out of the corporate work, and not to take away from the people that are in the corporate
Absolutely.
work. But when you say, you know what, I'm going to take this leap, I'm going to figure out what my passion is, and therefore my kids can be a part of it. So tell me,
Yes.
how did you bring them into the fold, and how they become in the fold of exercise and being the athletes that they are today? I know that they had a great foundation when they got started. So what was
it's
that
funny
about?
because our children are watching us.
Yes, yes.
And when they see the things that we're enjoying, and they see the things that we feed into, or that we place our time and energy into, it makes them curious about those things. And so they were able to go with me to the YMCA, where I got my first job, and then I did some teaching at my churches, the churches that I belonged to along the way, and I would always take them with me, and they would mimic some of the things that they would see me do.
Right.
And then they became very curious, and so at home I would do push-ups with them, and I'd play basketball with them when they were little.
And you know what? And I'm just going to say, as you laid that foundation, can you tell our viewers, what are your sons doing today?
So I have two that play football at the College of William and Mary.
Okay.
And then I have one that is an assistant coach at Notre Dame.
Awesome.
Yes.
See, and that laid that foundation with their mom exercising. So that's key. And then I love it too that they're not only athletes, but they're scholars as well, and they're student athletes, and they're doing awesome work. So that's awesome with that.
Thank you.
So I wanted to ask you, because I know with what you do, you have to have the support of your husband. You know what I mean? And I know that listening to your stories, how he's there with you, and he's always supportive of what you're doing, and he's supportive of your boys, because I've seen them where he'll come to all the football games, if not everyone, because people have to work and things of that nature, but he's there for you as well. So tell that story.
Yes, he is. His job always required that he traveled when the boys were younger.
Okay.
And I have vivid memories of him calling. What's going on? What's happening in the game? On those days where he couldn't be there, I couldn't even watch the game because I'm answering his call
because he wants to be there.
Because he wanted to be
there.
there.
But thank God, I always say this too, because I know even with our household, is the fact that you could be there, and so they can travel and do what they have to do, but the kids have that foundation of, even if it's one parent, but you're there too. So.
And the boys also saw Dad trying to get there.
Yeah.
He made every effort he could to be at all of their games.
And be supportive.
And
he's still doing it too.
And he's still
I
doing
see the
it
pictures,
too.
so that's good stuff. So now you have your mom who lives with you.
Yes.
And so she's 93 years old.
She is.
And tell me about how that is as far as when you are the daughter and your mom comes back and she's in your household. How does that work? How is that dynamic?
Well, my mom is always going to be my mom.
Yes.
And she's a very outspoken mom, and she tells me exactly how she feels about everything.
Yes.
And that's as it should be.
Yeah, no, I get that.
I find myself being the same way with my children, who are practically grown as well. I think it was a wonderful experience for my boys to have grandmother in the house, and grandmother loving up on them, and them being able to do and love up on her.
Yes.
It's been a wonderful addition to our family to have our mother living in with us.
Okay.
She's been there now, I think, about 10, 12 years.
Okay.
So she was truly there in the formative years. There was always someone there at the house if I was out working and my husband was out working.
And I know she was mothering while she was there. It's like they had as if you were there. So that's important.
Yes.
So look, for that young mom, or whether you have toddlers or whether you have high school students, how would you encourage them as far as within their households to be able to balance themselves, whether like if they are working or if they're raising their children, or even people that have caretakers, where they are caretakers, how would you encourage these women?
Well, I think one of the major things for me is to have adequate sleep and a proper diet.
Okay.
Proper diet is going to vary per person. We have vegans, we have vegetarians, we have those that are eating a what the world calls a normal diet,
Okay.
but just being able to choose those things that make us be able to function at our best.
Okay. How, when you're talking about that, what about portion control too? How would you describe that, like for someone like my size, and I know people have talked about like using your palm as like as far as if you eat like protein and meats and things of that nature. What's your thoughts on that as far as?
I think balance.
Balance, okay.
Balance and not eating until we're full.
Okay.
And sleepy.
Okay, no, okay.
Being able to
eating to live, not living to, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I read somewhere, and I wish I could remember who said this, but let's eat according to our goals.
Okay.
What are your goals? My 21-year-old who's beefing up, he's eating differently from me because his goals are to beef up. My
Right.
goals are not.
Right.
So I can't eat the same things at the same in the same amounts or the portion sizes that he eats.
Okay, okay.
That would be an example.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. And then for because you had the athletes when they were like middle school, high school, younger kids.
Yes.
How did you plan your meals out? Like if you all had games, because I have found that sometimes with our schedules, we are running rapid. And
Yes.
you know, just the meal planning time and getting the kids fed and all that. How did you do that? What did you do?
Planning was key.
Okay.
And oftentimes on the weekends, Saturdays and Sundays, that was my meal prep time.
Okay.
And so I always cooked for the day, but I always cooked for a couple of days in the future.
Okay.
Because there were days where the boys got off the school bus, we came home, they grabbed a snack, they changed clothes, they went to practice, and then it's 8 o'clock, they're getting home. The meal already needs to be ready because if I have to prepare a meal at 8 o'clock, they're eating at 9.
Right.
They're going to bed just way too late. Sleep is very important in my home, and it always has been. And I was probably very regimented as a young mother in terms of the boys getting their sleep for a couple of reasons. They need the sleep, but also so that I can decompress.
Right, and get your downtime.
And have my downtime.
I used to always say, everyone go to your spaces.
Yes.
So you can get that time so that you can be your best. And so that gracing up, the premise is really making sure that you are at your best. So
Yes.
with all these things, you're saying sleep is one, and
Planning.
Okay.
Meal prep.
Okay.
If that works for you. Also choosing meals that are going to empower you or going to give you energy, not meals that are going to weigh you down.
Right. Okay. I got that.
Right.
And then for you personally, what is it that fuels you, that keeps you going? So
sleep.
Okay.
Number one.
We hear that. Sleep. Sleep. Get your proper rest.
But also having downtime for me to meditate and pray, read my Bible, those things that where I can stay centered and find my joy and peace, so that once I'm fed, I can then give to my family.
Wow, that's perfect, because in today's world, everything is going around us so fast, and if we don't get that time to ourselves, as you said, to decompress.
Yes.
And we, as women, we tend to be the center of our home. So when we are in disarray, everyone is in disarray. So it's so important that we, as moms, take care of ourselves.
Absolutely.
And that way we can be better to everyone else around us.
That's so true.
Yes. Well, so thank you so much for your time today, and thank you all for watching Gracing Up and being a part of this show, and continue to grace up and be blessed. Thank you.